Welcome back, dear listeners. We were doing the second story of class 10th English literature book Footprints Without Feet. We were doing the thief story written by Ruskin Bond, and we had read up to the half of this present page. So, children, I would read the fifth paragraph. So, Anil was asleep. A beam of moonlight stepped over the balcony and fell on the bed. I sat upon the floor considering the situation. If I took the money, I could catch the 10:30 express to Lucknow. Slipping out of the blanket, I crept up to the bed. Anil was sleeping peacefully. His face was clear and unlined. Even I had more marks on my face, though mine were mostly scars. See, an irony is there. A symbolism is there in the paragraph. Anil was asleep at that time. In the previous lecture, we discussed that Anil had earned a bundle of notes by selling a book to a publisher, and Hari Singh is having an eye on that money. Hari Singh really wants to be in action and he wants to steal that bundle of notes. So, in this paragraph, it is told that Anil was sleeping, but Hari Singh was not able to sleep because he was considering this as a righteous situation to steal Anil's money. A beam of moonlight stepped over the balcony. It means a moonlight was there in the balcony, so it was falling on the bed. Hari Singh stood up and feels that this is the right time, and he is thinking that if he gets successful in stealing that money, he can catch that train that would come at 10:30 p.m. and that would go to Lucknow. So he slipped out of his blanket and slowly walked to the bed where Anil was sleeping. So Anil was sleeping peacefully, right? So his face was clear and unlined, a very deep line with a very deep meaning. Even I had more marks on my face, though mine were mostly scars. It means Anil's face was clear, and Hari Singh describes his face that there were mostly scars on his face. It means, Rajay. See, the purity of Anil's soul has been described that as his soul was pure, his face was also clear. And Hari Singh, he was a thief by profession. He was not a fair dealer. So there were a lots of scars on his face, lots of marks on his face, right? In the next paragraph, he says that my hand slid under the mattress searching for the notes. Slid here, next form of slide, right? Moving. He moved his hand under the mattress where Anil was sleeping because he wanted to search for the notes. So when I found them, I drew them out with the sound. Anil sighed in his sleep. Right? Sighed means taking deep breath. So Anil took a deep breath while Hari Singh had found those notes, and Anil turned aside towards Hari Singh. So I was startled and quickly crawled out of the room. Startled means like being alarmed all of a sudden. Like Hari Singh felt a little bit afraid here, and he hurriedly like crawled out of the room. He hurriedly walked very slowly. Crawling means walking on all fours, right? So he stepped out of the room quickly. So when I was on the road, I began to run. I had the notes at my waist, held there by the string of my pajamas. It means, see in the picture below also it is shown that how Anil is sleeping and how he is crawling on all his fours and taking the money from under the mattress, right? So he crawled back and he began to run on the road where he hid the note money, right? He hid the money at his waist, right? At the area where we tie our belt, right? Held there by a string of his pajamas. So I slowed down to a walk and counted the notes. How much money was there? Total 600 rupees in 50s, and I could live like an oil-rich Arab for a week or two. Now Hari Singh is dreaming of the life which he would live with these 600 rupees. He describes that he will live like an oil-rich Arab. Oil-rich Arab here describes actually the Arab people like who earn a lot of money, who are very rich, who earn a lot of money because they are in a position to produce oil and sell it to others. So Hari Singh is dreaming of living a very good life by using these 600 rupees stolen from Anil. Come to the next page. See, he says, when I reached the station, I didn't stop at the ticket office. In the bracket, a hilarious statement is written, I had never bought a ticket in my life, but dashed straight to the platform. We often have seen many people, especially thieves, the people who often indulge in robbery, they never take ticket. They never buy ticket at a railway station. See, same was Hari Singh's view. He said that I didn't stop at the ticket office. Why? Because he had never bought a ticket in his life. He always used to travel without ticket, but dashed straight to the platform. He reached to the platform. He slipped to the platform straight away. The Lucknow Express, the name of that train, the Lucknow Express was just moving out. Moving out means the train was about to leave the station. The train had already started from the platform. Next, the train had still to pick up speed. Whenever train leaves the platform, it leaves in slow motion. It moves slowly, right? So it was still to pick the speed up. And what he says, I should have been able to jump into one of the carriages, but I hesitated. A very good statement. For some reason I can't explain, and I lost the chance to get away. Hari Singh here explains that he didn't know why, but something from his inside hold him back to that platform. He could have caught that train. He said that, he is saying here that I should have been able to jump into one of the carriages. It means he had that capacity to run and catch that train, get into one of the carriages, but he relented that. But he didn't take that step. For some reason, I can't explain. It means he said that he cannot explain the reason, but there was some reason which put him behind that platform, that train, and I lost the chance to get away. It means he lost the chance to catch that train. So next paragraph. When the train had gone, I found myself standing alone on the deserted platform. Deserted means left. The place which is left. Right? So when the train had left the station, he found himself standing alone because everybody who wanted to board that train, the people had gone away, and the ones who had got down from that train, those people had also left the platform in order to reach their home, right? So I had no idea where to spend the night. I had no friends, believing that friends were more trouble than hell. And I did not want to make anyone curious by staying at one of the small hotels near the station. The only person I knew really well was the man I had robbed. Leaving the station, I walked slowly through the bazaar. When the train had gone, Hari Singh felt himself as very lonely. He felt himself as living in solitude because he never had any friends. Being a thief, he couldn't make any because he always felt that making friends create more trouble in our life. And moreover, the next option left with him was to stay in a small hotel, to stay in a cheap hotel near that railway station. But he also thought that some people may be curious while noticing him, or that situation, he may face that situation of being suspected by somebody, right? So he only knew one person, and that was Anil, the same person whom he had just robbed. And leaving the platform, he began to walk through the market, right? So in his short career as a thief, it is written, I had made a study of men's faces when they had lost their goods. So Hari Singh is a face reader. In this paragraph, he describes how people react when they lose their money. See, he says, I had made a study of men's faces when they had lost their goods. The greedy man showed fear. The one who is greedy, they show a feeling of being afraid. The rich man showed anger. Rich people often show a feeling of anger, right? So the poor man showed acceptance. Why the poor people show acceptance? Because they don't have much desires, right? But I knew that Anil's face, when he discovered the theft, he would show only a touch of sadness, not for the loss of money, but for the loss of trust. A very, very beautiful line, children. He says that Anil would not feel angry. Anil would not feel afraid. And Anil would not even show the acceptance on losing his money. He thinks that when Anil will come to know of this theft, so he will become sad. Why? Because I have broken the trust of Anil. Not he would not repent for the loss of money. Anil would repent that he had trusted such a fellow, right? So here, children, that feeling of realization is coming to Hari Singh. Last paragraph of this page, I found myself in the Maidan and sat down on a bench. The night was chilly. It means cold, right? So it was early November and a light drizzle added to my discomfort. Discomfort when somebody is not comfortable. Soon it was raining quite heavily. But a light drizzle means a light rain, right? So a little bit rain had started and he was feeling a little bit cold since it was early November month, and soon the heavy rain begins. He says that my shirt and pajamas stuck to my skin, a cold wind blew the rain across my face. It means he got completely wet in the rain, right? So come to the last page, first paragraph. I went back to the bazaar and sat down in the shelter of the clock tower. The clock showed midnight. I felt for the notes, they were damp from the rain. It means when he went back to the market, he sat there and he saw the time, it was midnight. He felt that the notes were totally wet. Anil's money, he said. In the morning, he would probably have given me 2 or 3 rupees to go to cinema, but now I had it all. I couldn't cook his meals, run to the bazaar, or learn to write whole sentences anymore. Now Hari Singh is thinking of all the favors which Anil had done to him. First he thinks that if Anil would wake up with all his notes of those 600 rupees, Anil may have given him 2 to 3 rupees to go to cinema and enjoy himself. But now Hari Singh is having all that money. But he is actually speaking a satirical statement. A statement in which he says that he didn't cook Anil's food that morning. He didn't go to market to buy groceries and other necessary things for Anil, and he would no longer be taught how to write complete sentences. It means internally he is, trying to repent. He is repenting actually, right? So I had forgotten about them in the excitement of the theft. It means he is admitting that he forgot all the favors of the Anil in just that excitement of stealing that bundle of notes. He At that time he thought that the bundle of notes would make him very rich, very happy. He forgot all the favors, he forgot the teachings, he forgot the teachings of Anil, that how he used to teach him cooking food, like editing numbers, mathematics, writing sentences in various languages, right? Whole sentences I knew could one day bring me more than a few hundred rupees. It was a simple matter to steal, and sometimes just as simple to be caught. But to be a really big man, a clever and respected man, was something else. I should go back to Anil, I told myself, if only to learn to read and write. So now he is thinking totally different. Hari Singh is thinking that this much money cannot last forever. If he learns how to read, how to write, how to do addition, subtraction, etc., so he can earn much more money. And money is not everything in life. He says that he can become a really big man. Big man means a man who is famous, or a man who is having a good reputation, right? So a clever and respected man was something else. It means he feels that having a good reputation among people is a very different feeling. So he decided to go back to Anil and told himself that he told himself that if only learn to read and write. So why he was going back to Anil? So that he can become a good man. So in the next paragraph, he says, I hurried back to the room feeling very nervous, for it's much easier to steal something than to return it undetected. I opened the door quietly and stood in the doorway in clouded moonlight. So Anil was still asleep. I crept to the head of the bed and my hand came up with the notes. I felt his breath on my hand. I remained still for a minute, then my hand found the edge of the mattress and slipped under it with the notes. See how he returned those notes. He is having the feeling that it's very easy to steal money. Stealing is a very easy task, right? But he is saying that returning the money one has stolen is very difficult, and that too undetected. It means he was feeling much more fear at the time of returning money. He was also afraid at the time of stealing money, but now he is feeling more afraid, right? So he quietly opened the door, means without making any noise he opened the door, somehow reached his mattress because Anil was sleeping. So he became successful in like putting the notes under that mattress. Remember one thing, the notes were quite wet, right? Because he had come from rain. Next paragraph, I awoke late next morning to find that Anil had already made the tea. Because Hari Singh was awake almost throughout the night, so he slept in during the early hours of morning, and he obviously woke up late that morning. So he noticed that Anil had prepared tea by that time. So he stretched out his hand towards me. Anil stretched out his hand towards Hari Singh, and why he stretched out his hand? There was a 50 rupee note between his fingers. Anil was offering Hari Singh a 50 rupees note. My heart sank. Hari Singh's heart sank. He began to be very much afraid. He thought that he had been caught, right? So I made some money yesterday, he explained. Now you will be paid regularly. See Anil's generous behavior, generous attitude. He explains to Hari Singh that I earned some money the previous day and now I'll pay you regularly. It means I'll give you money regularly. My spirits rose. Hari Singh's heart was touched at this time. But when I took the note, I saw it was still wet from the night's rain. A very beautiful statement. See, Anil didn't say any word to Hari Singh. The note was wet, and Anil knows it very well that note cannot become wet under the mattress. It means he had noticed Hari Singh either stealing his money or putting it back, because note cannot become wet by itself, right? So in the next paragraph, he says, today we'll start writing sentences, Anil said. Anil asked him that I will teach you how to write complete sentences. He knew means Hari Singh here admits that Anil knew that I stole his money. But neither his lips nor his eyes showed anything. Sometimes people do not say certain things with their lips, but they express the same with their eyes. So here Anil is such a kind fellow, such a good fellow, such a lovable character that he didn't show any anger, any kind of sadness or any negativity in his attitude, like while treating Hari Singh. So I smiled at Anil. It means Hari Singh gave a smile to Anil again in his most appealing, most attractive manner, and the smile came by itself without any effort. It means at this time the smile of Hari Singh was not corrupt. He didn't give Anil smile in order to further like befool him or to further do anything wrong with him. This smile was genuine. This smile was the one which came to him from his conscience. Now both the people have a good understanding among themselves. So this was all about the story. I really hope you would enjoy reading it. Have a nice day. Thank you.